Welcome in, everyone. Ready to see a different side of Anubis.
Definitely a side we rarely encounter.
He's usually seen as, that super serious, jackal-headed figure.
Right. The ultimate judge, deciding the fate of souls in the Egyptian underworld.
Heavy stuff. But today's deep dive, we're looking at the Odyssey of Anubis, guardian of souls.
Such an interesting text.
It shows a much more, a more complex being, don't you think? Wrestling with this huge cosmic duty.
It really is a fascinating departure. In traditional mythology, you have these gods, and they're infallible, right?
Right.
But here we see Anubis, and he's grappling with these very human emotions.
Yeah.
Doubt, regret.
Yeah.
Even questioning the fairness of, the whole system he represents.
Okay, yeah. Let's break that down a bit.
Yeah.
Because I think most of us, when we think Anubis, we think guardian of the dead.
Right.
Weighing hearts against the feather of truth.
Exactly.
Talk about pressure.
Huge responsibility.
But this text, it takes it a step further.
Yeah.
It digs into why Anubis is feeling this burden so strongly. Like, what's going on the inside?
Well, the text reveals this startling internal conflict, right? Anubis, he starts questioning the very foundation of his role, like the morality of judging souls based on a system he's starting to see as flawed.
Oh, wow.
And it gets even more interesting because we start seeing these glimpses of specific cases that, they really haunt him. Judgments that he regrets, hinting that maybe this desire for change, it's rooted in empathy.
So he's already having this crisis of faith, like questioning everything he thought he knew about the afterlife. And then, to make things even more interesting, he stumbles upon something that throws his world into chaos.
Yeah, so the text describes Anubis, and he's drawn by this mysterious light. It leads him to this hidden temple, and it's deep within the Duat. And for listeners who might not know, the Duat is the ancient Egyptian underworld, and believe me, it's not a walk in the park. This realm is full of, challenges and trials, especially for the deceased. So Anubis finds this temple, and inside he discovers a tablet. And this tablet, it's covered in these ancient secrets that predate even the gods themselves.
Okay, hold on. Secrets about what? What are we talking about here?
These secrets, they hint at this power, and it's a power so profound that it could actually rewrite fate itself, like fundamentally altering the balance of life and death.
Wow.
And what I find really intriguing is it's not presented as a power for good or evil. It's a force. It's beyond those simple definitions.
Okay, wait. The power to rewrite fate. That's a huge GE concept. Like, how does Anubis even begin to wrap his head around that kind of responsibility?
Well, the text, it doesn't shy away from the drama. Imagine this, an ancient voice coming from the tablet, and it's whispering to Anubis. And it tempts him with these words, "Touch the stone, Anubis, and know the power to reshape the world, or remain a slave to the will of the gods."
Servitude or the power to reshape the world. Talk about a dilemma. That really gets to the heart of free will versus destiny. Even for a god, right? Oh, man. Talk about a cliffhanger, right? We left off with Anubis facing this impossible choice.
It's huge.
Does he stick with what he knows, this cosmic order, even if it's flawed? Or does he take a chance on this unimaginable power?
Well, the text really captures how torn he is inside. It's not just like a philosophy debate happening in his head. The Duat itself feels it.
Right.
Yeah, it's described as this warping, this blurring between life and death. Like the whole universe is holding its breath to see what Anubis will do.
So it's not just Anubis' decision, it's going to impact everything.
Exactly. And that's where I think those regrets we talked about earlier really come into play. Because it's not just about power, right? It's the chance to maybe fix some things, bring mercy to a system that can seem so rigid.
But at the same time, messing with life and death itself. That's got to be a gamble.
Oh, absolutely. And the text makes it clear that Anubis feels that weight. It describes him reaching out, touching the stone, and he feels that power.
Whoa.
It's like a physical thing, this pull towards knowing, towards control.
So what happens? Does he give in? Does Anubis remake everything in his own image?
It's surprising. He pulls back, recognizes how tempting it is, but chooses balance.
Walks away. Just like that.
He does, but he's not the same. He fixes the Duat, puts everything back how it's supposed to be, but he's not just blindly following the rules anymore. He's seen what's possible, creation and destruction. And I think he comes out of it with a deeper understanding of what he's actually guarding.
That changes things.
Yeah.
He's still Anubis. He's still got his job to do. But now it's like informed by this near cosmic meltdown.
Right. And that, to me, is such a powerful idea. It's like real wisdom, it isn't about always following the rules or grabbing power. It's that space in between. Compassion, experience, asking the tough questions.
So Anubis is back to weighing hearts, but with, the memory of that near cosmic collapse weighing on him too. How does that actually change how he judges the souls that come before him.
You know, it's interesting. The text doesn't make it this radical transformation. He doesn't just toss out the rule book and start playing favorites. It's subtler than that, more internal. And honestly, I think that makes it hit even harder.
So no more Anubis just like tossing hearts back to people going, yeah, you're good, I get it.
Right, not quite. It's more about how he sees those hearts now. Remember all those regrets that were haunting him. They kind of become this touchstone for him, a reminder that life is complicated, you know? No system, not even a divine one, can fully capture that.
So it's like by seeing that ultimate power, the potential for both good and bad, it made each individual soul, their journey, seem that much more precious.
Exactly. And you see that reflected in how he acts. He doesn't abandon his duty, but there's this newfound humility. He listens more to the stories of the deceased, acknowledges the nuances of their choices, the weight of their regrets. Judgment isn't just a checklist anymore. It's about understanding the heart behind the actions.
He's gone from divine accountant just ticking off good and bad deeds to something more, I don't know, dare I say, relatable. I mean, who hasn't looked back on their life and thought, what if? Or if only?
Absolutely. And that's what's so powerful about this new take on Anubis. He's not just death, he's growth, he's change. The possibility for compassion even within a system that seems so set in stone.
It's amazing, really. This ancient myth, this jackal-headed god weighing hearts, and it ends up feeling incredibly relevant to us. Like a reminder that even in rigid structures, there's always the potential for change. A shift in perspective, a deeper understanding of ourselves, and the choices we make.
And isn't that something we're thinking about? If Anubis, this embodiment of cosmic order, can find that space for growth, what does that mean for us? What's our potential, even when facing the unknown?
Now that is a thought-provoking question to end on. And listeners, if you're as fascinated by this new side of Anubis as we are, be sure to check out The Odyssey of Anubis, Guardian of Souls. It is a wild, thought-provoking journey through the Egyptian underworld, and a powerful look at justice, compassion, and what it really means to be alive, even after death. Thanks for joining us.